would like to give you a little history behind this. Practicing in Ahmedabad and coming to Nadiad, and he used to take care of my hospital in Ahmedabad. I don't think without him I would have been able to do anything. And Pradeep has got a beautiful intuitive mind, and he has collected all the data. Whatever work we used to do, he used to collect the data and he used to analyze it. Pradeep, thank you so much for taking part in this. Now, on a similar line, Pradeep Ganatra has been working because we have people coming from a certain area with the stone, and then we try to look for the metabolic abnormality. But as Brian has suggested, similar things are present. I want to look at our data, and Pradeep is going to show that. Pradeep?
Yeah, thank you very much. Greetings from Nadiad. I'm thankful to Dr. Mahesh Desai for giving this opportunity to speak on a subject which is very close to my heart. How far the environmental factors are responsible in the stone formation. This is more of a study done at the local level at our hospital. During the 3 weeks lockdown period, I had the chance to read many articles. Ones that interested me most were the role of hot climate and hot occupation leading to chronic dehydration and thereby playing a role in the formation of genital stones. Also the role of temperature with humidity which varies round the year and its importance to the seasonal folic attack. During this, take this example. I took a randomized samples from the year 1990 to 2019. What I studied was 1,336 cases where male comprised of 70% of the stones. The age in which it was frequently seen was between 40 and 60, both in males as well as the female population. The residential location of the patient were noted, and the parameters studied were temperature in Celsius, humidity in percentage, atmospheric pressure in hectopascal. This data was collected from the website of timeanddate.com. The idea of fixing the date of 15th May 2019 between 12 and 18 hours was to standardize the reading. Also, this being the peak of summers in almost all parts of India. Other factors that were noted were latitude, longitude, and altitude. This information was retrieved from Wikipedia and the website of Map of India. It was observed that 82% of the patients were residing where temperatures were between 36 and 40 degrees Celsius, or what we say in Fahrenheit, 96 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Similarly, it was also observed that 45% of the patients were staying where the humidity was between 30 and 40%. Interestingly, it was also seen that 89% of our patients were residing between a latitude of 21 to 25 degrees north. Also, it was surprising to note that 61% of the people were residing within 500 feet above the sea level. All the above findings led me to study different permutation combinations. 69% of the study group stayed at temperatures between 36 and 40 with the humidity range of 20 to 40%. When we analyzed the relation of patient staying between temperature of 36 to 40 and latitude of 21 to 25 degrees north, it was 77% of the people were staying in this area. Again, the relationship between temperature and altitude revealed that 50% of the patients were located in the range of 36 to 40 degrees Celsius and within 500 feet above the sea level. Similarly, humidity and latitude showed 70% and 43% within the mentioned humidity and altitude range. 56% were seen residing within the range of this latitude and altitude. So all in all, when the three factors were considered, temperature of 36 to 40 degrees, humidity of 20 to 40%, and latitude of 21 to 25, nearly 67% of our patients were found staying located in this set of parameters. If we added altitude of within 1,000 feet above the sea level, it was observed that 50% of our patients were staying within this criteria. Now, how does this figure help us and the data help the clinical scenario? The way forward to go would be to have more numbers to substantiate the observations and to study the relationship between urinary metabolic study with the said environmental factors. We also need to check whether there is any variation between this finding vis-a-vis a low risk and a high risk zone forms. Also, an American study showed the role of atmospheric pressure in conjunction with temperature and humidity, and its observation was it was observed that there is an increase insensible loss of fluid in the set of combination. We need to try and rate this, whether it embraces and any loss or change in the urinary volume output. Latitude of being between 21 and 25 degrees north in our batch of study would be of interest if found across the globe. Therefore, in order to achieve more and more information like environment and electrolyte should be attempted with to see whether there is any relationship. In a country like India where 4 seasons are seen, it would be very informative to see if there is any change because of this variation. Also, we have observed before 30 years, most of the population of a particular village were inflicted with genitourinary stones. We have not seen the same recently. It would be very enlightening to see whether this change has happened, if at all. Is it the climate change or is it the change in food habits or the drinking water content? Also, we say bladder stones are passive. Is it really so? Also interesting would be the role of nutrition and diet, especially in the pediatric population. As Brian said, the progress in genomic studies and molecular studies are also being attempted. So, the point to make is the role of environment and geography is surely not a myth. If such incidences and if such studies with the starting of stone prevention clinic, the agony and pain of the waiting people like this can be alleviated, it would be hard work worth everything. Constructive, contributory creativity to bring about the winds of change to build a better future is always very satisfying and blissful. Thank you again very much for this opportunity, and it would be a pleasure to receive comments and guidance from the stalwarts and interested scientists of the field of this vast, open, less tapped avenue of this unfathomable giant. I would like to see those winds of change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pradeep. It was very nice, and you have taken lots of pain to collect this data.